There it is. Okay. All right, everybody, welcome. We're super excited today for another
That
live.
doesn't sound exciting.
So we're super
We're so
excited to
excited
have
to
you
be
with
here.
us today. You're so awesome. Woo! Like, I have to tone it down because I'd be jumping around out here. In fact, we just should jump. We should invite all of you to jump. Unless you're driving, don't jump. Just eyes on the wheel, eyes on the road, hands on the wheel. All right, how's it going? Like, give us a quick update. Throw something in the chat box, or just let us know. Like, how's life? What are you working on? What are you excited about? What are you facing? What are you struggling with? Let's just do a quick check-in. How's summer going? Let's give us a little update. Highlight reel from your summer, from life. Things that you're working on, struggling with, excited. What are you doing? Why do you have the controls?
Sorry, I'm trying to admit people.
Oh, really?
Not
Nice.
used to your mouth.
Good. Here, let's open the chat. There we go. Life's good. Thanks, Kent. Man, I hope you're. The last thing I heard was the grandchild was in an emergency. Hope things are working out well there. Good. Anybody else? What's going on? Oh, good. That's great. Baby's doing great. That's fantastic. Nobody else is doing anything? Are you guys alive or what? Come on, you're killing me here. I'm seeing a new hairdo there. I like it.
So just same old, lots of garden and yard stuff and family reunion and really working on my identity.
Woo!
From last. So.
And we're going to talk about that a little bit more today. That's so awesome. I saw your message you put in before and how excited you were about that. It's a huge piece. I love it. That's fantastic. Yeah. Hey, the gardening, the yard work.
That's fun.
All the cool stuff, all the good going on. Okay. Thanks. Okay. Anybody else? This is your chance, man. This chance. Chime in there. Let us know what you're doing. Oh, Mary's got a mic on. Go for it.
Hi. Yeah, I'm excited because today, two things. I'm finishing up a course. I've been working on the bookkeeping course so I can get that business going. And I've been doing all the little and big things I need to do to get that going. And tonight I'm starting Family Fun Night. It's going to be a weekly thing where each person gets a turn to choose what we do for the Family Fun Night. So I'm excited about those two things.
Woohoo!
Oh,
Fun.
Both awesome wins. Huge wins right there. Family Fun Night. What a cool idea. Yeah. So I have a dream of doing that one day on like a global scale where each kid just picks some epic adventure and we all go do it. All right. But you gotta buckle up when that happens.
Night.
Yeah, that'd be like a
Family
fortnight. Family Fun fortnight. Like, well, not like Fortnite the game, but like 20 days. That's what I meant. Like a fortnight. All right, let's go. That's awesome. Love it. And way to go keep it on that business and finishing that course. You guys, I know some of you are in with us in the money mastermind, and good things are going on. Like Rachel and I are both in courses, and we're learning some amazing stuff, and we're doing some incredible things with our business. So we're excited to share with you guys too that we're learning and implementing good things happening. All right, so let's dive in today and talk about energy.
Energy.
In fact, I want Rachel to kind of tee this off.
Oh, okay.
Because she wrote about it so eloquently, if you guys got the emails. I even love reading her emails. I was like, this is so good. I should talk to her about this.
I do that. You can just read my emails.
Right. We can just read. We don't have to communicate anymore. All right, but like start us off because the way you tee this up is so real for all of us.
Yeah. Well, and I think we've all been in that place where, and this is where I was last month. I think some of you know that I had been sick, and this was after Greg had been sick for 8 weeks, but I was like in this place 8 weeks. He was sick for 8 weeks. I was only sick for 4, so I was glad it wasn't 8 weeks, but I was in this place where I was just so exhausted and demotivated, which is not normal for me, right? I am a usually very motivated person.
Pause. As she's telling stories and you're taking notes, just start jotting down some of these things, because I want this to click. I want to create an experience today intellectually, but also emotionally and spiritually, like physically, where you get this reality check on why you might be feeling the way you're feeling. And if we, like, the importance of this, because if you don't take care of it, oh baby, like it leads to disaster zone. So the first thing is like you lose motivation.
Okay, so first of all, though, I want to clarify. I said that I'm usually a very motivated person, but I haven't always been a motivated person. Or I may have thought I was motivated, but I have not always had the energy necessary to match up that, motivation. Now, what are you trying to do? Move the desk here?
Lower it down so it looks
You feel like I'm
normal.
like just a talking head?
There you go.
Okay, so I was super exhausted. I had no motivation, like, to do things. And I'm normally, I've always got stuff going through my brain. I'm like, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna reorganize that. I'm gonna do this Facebook ad. I'm gonna write this email. Like, there's constantly something going on, right? When I'm pregnant or when I have COVID, right? I don't really know if it's COVID, but I like to joke that it was because I don't know what else it was. I am not motivated to do any of that stuff. I literally want to just watch Netflix all the time, sit around, sleep in. Okay, this is not me. That's not normal me. But I remembered,
So like,
while I felt that way.
I gotta emphasize this. So when I knew, like, whenever Rachel got pregnant, I was like, okay, I'm gonna be married to a totally different person here for a long time. Like, next 12 months, different woman. Like, whatever she says, I'll be like, whatever, dear. Because she's not the same. Like, she just switches. And she thinks differently, acts differently. Everything was different. And she would say things. I'm like, that's not my wife's thought. That is the whatever has taken over her body and her brain. But that's what I'm saying, and that's what she's saying. Is like, when it gets off, you guys, you don't even think clearly.
Here's what I was trying to say, and here was the thing I remembered or realized while I was sick last month. That sometimes we forget, okay? Because here's what happens. You make transformations in your life. You make transformations in your thinking and your behavior, and you literally become an entirely new person. Now, sometimes you forget what it was like to be that person before. And that happens to us. We are guilty of that sometimes, right? We're guilty of forgetting what it was like to be the old us. And so I had this realization while I was sick that there's probably a lot of people in the world that feel like this on a daily, weekly basis. They're not motivated. It's not that they don't have goals and dreams. They do, because I think a lot of people have goals and dreams, right? But if you don't have the motivation and the energy and the drive to get those goals and dreams done, like, you're done. You're sabotaging yourself. It's not going to happen because you just want to watch Netflix and that's all you want to do, right? And I get it because I was there. I don't want to do
6 pregnancies you were there.
Yeah, 6 pregnancies and COVID. I was there. I don't want to do anything else. I really don't. And I don't care. That's the part that frightens me the most, I guess. I don't care. I honestly am completely fine with just watching the Netflix and just, doing the other stuff. Now compare that with my now normal self, which was not always my normal self, right? Like, literally, what was it, like Saturday or something? I think Saturday, like, I was back.
She's on it.
And I'm like rearranging the whole house and I'm doing all this stuff and I'm like, and I'm like, it
And
feels
she's
so
like,
good to be back.
Yes! Again, people!
Okay, so, but that's not who I was. I didn't start out my life that way. I didn't start out my life being this And again, when we're talking about energy and motivation, I'm not saying you have to be like Greg Denning, you know, and
Hey,
jumping off
hey.
the walls and like, you know, it's not even that type of energy. I am mostly an introverted person. I'm a quieter person.
As you sit here and scream into
Yeah,
the camera.
but this is not my, like, I'm not always screaming into the camera, right? I'm talking about just this energy, this motivation, this drive. What are you doing?
I just thought of ways to start drawing this stuff, so I'm going to start drawing.
Start drawing it. What's up with the camera? Okay. I'm talking about energy, motivation, and drive that's not all rah-rah, whatever. It's just this inner ability to be proactive, to take action, to be going after things, right? Being a go-getter, like you're going after your goals and you're not just like, I'm just too tired. I just don't have the energy. I just don't have the motivation. I just don't want to do it, right? I want to, but I don't really want to. I don't feel driven to do it, okay? This is the type of energy and motivation I'm talking about, not the rah-rah, shish-kumbah, cheerleading energy and enthusiasm. And I bring that up because Greg had mentioned something like this to another group that he was talking about, and they're like, well, you know, not everybody has to be like you. Okay?
You don't have to be like the Energizer Bunny or bouncing on the walls. And we're not talking about being extroverted or this kind of energy.
We're going to talk at the same time about this.
Okay, go.
We're not talking that you have to be like that, or you have to be like us, or you have to be like anyone else. We're talking about finding your inner motivation, your inner drive, so that you have energy from sun up or from whenever you get up until you go to bed to keep moving forward, to keep taking action, to keep working on the next step. And whether that next step is cleaning up a mess your kids made and being able to do it with a little bit of grace, right? And not letting it throw off your whole day. Or if you get upset about it, to be able to reset and to be able to take the next step on your action, on your goals, whether that's writing your book or working on your business or sending an email, whatever it is. It's being able to have that energy all day long to do all the things.
And it's the stamina. Maybe you haven't thought about this before. You haven't really conceptualized as like, wait a minute, low energy is directly tied to motivation. Low energy is directly tied to my reactions to something not working out or the kids making a mess or whatever.
It's directly tied to how demotivated or depressed or down you get about inevitable obstacles and setbacks, because they happen, right? Energized people don't, it's not that they don't face obstacles and setbacks, they do. But when you have the right energy and motivation, you're able to keep moving forward. You're able to keep going. You're able to reset and refocus and keep going instead of like, the world sucks, everything's gonna, end. Like, what's the point?
So your reactions, both mentally, emotionally, and verbally, or even physically, are going to be more tempered and more deliberate when we have higher energy levels. You guys know what I'm talking about? Is this hitting home for me? Can we get an amen on a Wednesday morning here? Afternoon for some of you. But like, throw it in the chat box or whatever. Like, you get what I'm saying? Have you ever felt like this, where you feel like sometimes you're literally just dragging yourself through the day?
Or you felt like, I have all these goals and dreams. I have these things I want to do. Like, I have my morning routines. I've got all this stuff I want to do, but I just can't get it done because I'm just so tired. Or the kids do all this stuff and it just throws me off. Or I really would just rather watch Netflix, because that's just more entertaining and fun and easy, right?
And so you literally can go into survival mode. When we're low energy, you just slip into survival mode. And you say things and you feel this way. You're like, oh, if I can just make it through today, if I can just get through this week, if I can just survive this time. right? But what we're saying here is if you can figure out, and we're going to give you the tools and strategy and training to do this, if you can figure out how to turn up your energy to be an energy generator, right? We'll give you the tools to do it. Then you won't think like that anymore. And you won't act like that anymore. You won't say things to yourself like, geez, if I can just get through this day. You won't say that because you're like, oh no. Is that all you got, day? Is that all you got? Because I got more, right? Like Rachel loves to say, Rachel doesn't have bad days. Bad days have Rachel, right? Watch her, right? But I'm telling you, this isn't just me being this, positive thinking and blah, blah, blah. Like, this is legit stuff. When you feel good, when you feel energized, you do life very differently.
And if you've ever wondered, how do those people do that? How do they accomplish so much? How do they get so much done? How are they actually making progress on things? Why am I stuck? Why can't we get through this? Why can't we get past this? This is probably a major reason.
Yeah.
You don't have the energy to do it.
So what happens is and we're seeing comments in the chat box, thanks you guys, that it gets, oh, you're feeling so emotional right now because this is so true. And then here's this.
Mm-hmm.
Time goes by so fast and you wonder how that happened.
Yeah.
Or you get caught in it for years. You're like, what in the world? I never intended to be like this. And what's interesting, like Rachel referenced before, is you get cloudy and you get to this space where you're like, you don't care that you don't care.
Mm-hmm.
You guys with me? You ever felt like that before? Or is that just me? Maybe it's just me.
I felt like that before.
Okay, maybe it's just us. But I'm guessing you felt like that before. Like you get this space, you're like, I don't even care that I don't care. And I know that I don't care. And that should bother me, but it doesn't. Right? It's because we're so exhausted. And so what happens chronically.
And it feels and seems so overwhelming to even attempt, to even make the effort.
Yeah. Why even try? It seems futile. And so often, my friends, see if this hits home, you end up giving mere leftovers to work or to family, or sometimes both. And what kind of results are we getting when it's just leftovers? Right?
If we're getting any result.
If we get any result. Sometimes we don't get results at all because of that. And then you're just like, I hear this all the time. You get in this space where like, I've tried everything and nothing works. When in reality, it's not that nothing works, and it's not that you've actually tried everything. It's just what you're doing, the way you're operating, it's not working.
Or very often it's the piece that's missing is consistency. Because people will try everything, but unless you try the right things long enough, it doesn't matter. It's not going to work. You could have tried the right things, but if you don't stick with it, it doesn't work.
And bring the energy behind it. Oh, I love it.
And bring the energy.
So let's see, the comment here. Someone once told me that it doesn't take any more energy to care. Ooh.
I don't know.
I don't know either. I think, oh, here's why. Ready? I love drawing.
Drawing?
It's my drawing. Okay, so while Rachel was talking, explaining this, I'm like, I wanna do this visually. So up here, you got super high energy. Let's just call this space this is fully engaged, right?
Full engagement?
Full engagement. You're fully engaged here.
Backwards.
I think it works.
Oh.
Here's what happens though, my friends.
Again, we're not talking about jumping off the walls, this type of energy. We're not talking about that. We're just talking about you have the energy. You could be totally silent. You don't even have to say a word all day long. But you are mentally engaged, you're physically engaged, you're emotionally, socially engaged with life. You are living life and you have the energy, you have the drive, you have the ability to just keep moving forward, keep taking the next step, whatever that is. It doesn't matter what obstacles come in your way. You're like, got this, I got it. Oh yeah!
You are becoming an extrovert on camera. Okay, typically she is
I'm just doing my stuff. I'm like,
introvert. And she's like, don't talk to me. I got things. So it could be either way. You can see this energy, however it applies to you, just see yourself on more energy. In fact, let me ask this real quick while I'm drawing and diagramming. What would you do differently? How would you feel differently if you had 5 to 10 times more energy than you do? Everyone throw that in the chat box. I want specifics. Examine yourself right now. What would you do differently? How would you feel differently if you had 5 to 10 times more energy than you do right now? And again, this is talking like mental energy, emotional energy, physical energy, spiritual energy. You're vibrant.
Social energy. You're able to interact with all of your family members in a positive, engaging, uplifting way, right?
So this is like.
You have some good comments. Do you want me to read them or read?
We'll come back to the comments. Keep writing the comments. I want them to keep coming. I want you to think through this, right? What's interesting is down here you have little to no energy. It's what Rachel was describing where you're like, I got nothing. I don't care. And I don't care that I don't care.
And I know I should, and
cognitively,
I know this is what I want, and I know what I'm doing is helping me get that.
And I'm still going to sit here anyways. Right? And you're just so disconnected. And this, you're getting the mental fog, and you're getting this drain. And no matter what anyone says or does, it still feels like there's a dark cloud over your life.
Well, and it almost literally feels like your brain is foggy. And you may not totally realize that, especially if you've been stuck in it for a long time, but it literally is like your brain is foggy. You're not thinking clearly, but you don't necessarily know that. You just know that you don't care that you don't care.
So, and what Rachel's saying there kind of fits in with why I drew these lines. There's almost these blocks that prevent us. It's almost like the ceiling, right? And it's hard to think at the next level when you're in this level. You with me? So if I'm here and I'm just kind of feeling blah, it's really hard to think up here. And definitely up here. This seems like, what's that?
Fake.
That guy must be on drugs. People literally ask me if I'm on drugs. They will literally, I love this trip. So I lead a humanitarian expedition every year. And I led a trip down there. And I was with these people, and we were having a phenomenal time. And we're staying up late, getting up early, working hard all day. And I'm just going. I'm like this all the time, right? Just, let's go.
Energy from morning to night. Like you can just go the whole day.
I have sustained it. Okay, let me throw this out, my friends. I stayed up late reading until like 10 last night, 10:15-ish. Then my daughter screams out in the middle of the night. So it's like 3 o'clock in the morning, and I hop up because she's screaming, and I run into her bedroom, and she's like, "Where's Elsa? Where's Elsa?" You know, Elsa from Frozen?
Her doll.
Her doll, Elsa. And I was like, "You got to be kidding me." Lay down, and she was out cold. And I'm like, you know what? I'm up. So I've been up since 3. I've been going gangbusters since 3. And I'm not putting on a show here. I will crash at 9:30. I will be done. Like 9:30, my friends are here. I'll be like, right? But I got sustained energy. And these people on this trip, they're like, no, for real. I was like, do you take something? Like, are you on drugs? And what was ironic is they were sitting there like pounding donuts and chips and soda. I mean, just horrible stuff. We'll come back to it.
He's just giving you a clue right here.
We'll come back to it. Like they were just hitting all of a sudden like, oh, we feel like crap. I'm like, well, no wonder. Okay, but when you're here, you can't, it's hard to think up here. You with me? And I want to drive this home. In fact, I can say with a little bit of confidence here, and this is total love, okay? This is love and me coaching you. I feel confident that some of you in this call have never experienced this level. You literally yet don't even know what it's like above these levels. Now, it's not your fault, and I'm not making you wrong, right? I'm just introducing you to an idea that when we optimize our lives emotionally, spiritually, physically, there are levels
You
with
don't
which
even know.
you don't even know about. Like there's levels of joy and stamina and fulfillment and bliss, and I don't use that word lightly, like that you haven't yet experienced. Is this hitting home?
And the other thing I want to point out.
You like feeling my guns?
Yeah.
I've been working out, you guys. It's good.
It's not hard to live at this level. You might look at this level and be like, oh my gosh, that's so much work.
That's because you're thinking with this
You're
brain.
thinking here. Once you get up here, it's as easy to live here as it is down here. It is just as easy.
Easier. This is
Easier,
hard.
honestly.
This is really hard.
It is, yeah, it's true. It is hard, especially when you go from here back to there and they're like, whoa. Okay? It's not hard to live here. You just have to know what it takes. You just have to know, like, oh, I just do this to get through here, and I do this to get through here, and then whoop, there I am. And then it's easy to be there.
It's again, I want to reemphasize that. It's actually easier to be up here than it is down here. You guys, I got I was doing intermittent fasting, and then I did a full fast without drinking enough water. Really bad idea. Please don't do that. So I was already
So he'd
dehydrated,
been fasting,
and then I started a fast,
dehydrated, and then started another fast.
and unbeknownst to me,
Dehydrated.
that sent me into kidney failure. And
This is
like I went
a year and a
toxic.
half
It was
ago.
like a year and a half ago. My body went septic. Holy biscuits. I was on a
all he wanted to do was watch Netflix. You wouldn't believe it.
well, at first, but then after that, like I felt like I was dying, and parts of me were like, okay, I'd rather just die. And I went to an emergency room, and the physician was like, she was really concerned. She's like, you were this close from getting on the path to death. Like if we don't hit this hard right now, like you're going to be in critical condition. You with me? And so she's like, stop on the way home to get your prescription. Remember this? Oh my gosh. I called Rachel. I'm like, Rachel, I don't think I can make it home. Like I'm in Walmart, just trembling, shaking, everything hurt. Just walking back there, and they didn't have my medicine. So I'm trying to get back out of the truck. Can't even get in the truck. And I'm just going, I'm like, I don't know if I can drive. And it was close, and I get home, and I just go into the apartment, and like my fingers are locking up, my legs, I just crawl in the bed. Like I was gonzo, you guys. I was way down here. Like things were bad. And I remember cognitively thinking, because I remember how Rachel would shut down when she was sick. I'm like, I don't care about anything. I have no goals. And if anyone mentions goals, well, I can't do anything about it because I can't get out of bed. I was done. And I remember being cognizant of my brain not functioning, of not thinking in a healthy way. But
which is how our bodies are designed to work that way. I mean,
just
in a case like that, this is literally how you're designed. You're in survival mode. Survival mode is a real thing, and it's a good thing because it's meant to help you survive. If he is suffering from kidney failure and he's worried about his goals, he's going to kill himself. He's going to die, right? So survival mode is important. It helps us to survive. But we're not supposed to live in survival mode.
So I got to raise the mic and drop it. Boom. Survival mode is there to keep us alive, but we're not supposed to live in survival mode. Is this hitting home for anybody?
They left great comments. We just
Okay, let's go with comments. Have you felt this? Like we want to make sure we address the pain so we realize like, yeah.
Well, we want you to know that we've been in all of these levels.
Yep.
And we're not 100% here. And
We're 110%.
we're not 100% here. And we know that there's even higher levels than this.
Yep.
Like, we know that.
Yep. And we're pursuing them.
But we're telling you we've been in all these levels, and we're like, you don't have to live down here because guess what? It's so much better up here. It's way better, and life is easier. You're literally making your life difficult. You are making your life harder than it has to be because you stayed down here. And
But-
part of it's because you didn't know.
Well, yeah, let's say it's not like
You don't know.
you
That's part of
choosing
it.
it. It's like we don't know what we don't know.
Exactly.
And so we operate here not knowing that there's this barrier, there's this ceiling. Sorry, we're doing this dance here. There's this barrier, and if we're not super aware of it, or we don't have a session like today where we're like, hey, you guys, you're stuck in
You're in the
this
matrix.
space, and we are too. Like same. Like, what's my next level? And I don't know what I don't know. And so, like, the invitation today is like, let's level out of this. Let me give you another example. And then we'll hit these awesome comments. Yeah, right, Allison? Where you get little glimpses of the energetic life, and you yo-yo back and forth,
And
right?
we've
done that.
Mhm.
that actually for me, I'm like, oh, are you kidding? This is amazing. No. Like, and I'm falling back, like, let me back up there, right? And you get these glimpses of it, right? And that's when you're about to transition to another level.
Well, I was actually just going to talk about that because sometimes that happens.
I can't even finish the
I know,
thought
and I'm
because
just
you
gonna
have.
push it over. Just kidding. I don't know. I have lots of energy today, apparently. And sometimes this happens. Well, no, not sometimes. This does legitimately happen. I'm just kidding. Come back in.
Go.
Come back in.
I like looking at you.
Okay. This does legitimately happen. When you are going to level up, part of what happens is you literally like bounce off these walls, if you want to call them walls. You will hit that and you'll like hit it. And you could have been like in a good place kind of, but then you hit that and sometimes it even knocks you down further, knocks you back further, because this is super fascinating and maybe a little too much right now, but this is all quantum physics stuff. Your body literally memorizes feelings, ways of feeling. Like it can happen initially by something happens. Maybe there's some bad experience. Maybe you can't pay the bills. Maybe you got in a fight with your spouse. I don't know, all these different things. And you have this experience that causes strong emotions, right? Well, your brain produces chemicals in your body, and then your body responds to that. And then what happens is if something similar comes up, your brain's like, oh, I know how to feel about that. And it automatically produces those feelings based on past experience. So you had a past experience, you had certain feelings. Now when you have an experience in the future, your brain automatically produces those same feelings. So you go through life with these memorized feelings, basically. And what happens is you end up producing more of the same experiences because of this cycle that's happening between your brain and your body, your feelings and your thoughts. And the more you think and feel the same things, the more you create more of the same experiences in your life. Now this sounds, woo-woo, whatever, but this is like the science, scientific.
I'll just jump into the scientific part of it, the psychology side of it. What Rachel's describing is called emotional stacking. So we start stacking all these experiences against us, and we start looking for evidences. Oh, see, oh, there it is again.
Oh, this always happens to me.
That always happens to me. First it's the car, then it's the neighbor, now it's you, and then it's me, and we stack. And so we might stack against ourselves, we might stack against our spouse, we might stack against life. And so we do this emotional stacking. And then I put a little guy at the top because, like Rachel's saying, sometimes just this little thing happens and boom, it just sets off this detonation of all these past things. And we're like, what just happened? Like, you blew a gasket over this little thing. And you're like, well, it's on top of my pile here.
Everything that's piled up.
And so we stack in these areas. And so and what Rachel described as your body memorizes emotions. Some people call it your emotional home or your emotional setting, like a thermostat has a setting. Mm-hmm. And so you'll just get comfortable in your emotional home, and you have glimpses out here and little areas over here, but you'll just come back to that memorized
because
home.
It's what you know, it's what's familiar, it's what's comfortable. And so what I was trying to talk about is when you're trying to level up, that's the hard part. That's what feels so hard. You think, oh, this is going to be really hard living up here. It's not. It's easy. but breaking through can be hard because you bounce against this, and your body and your brain are like, whoa, this is new. Like, this isn't who you are. This isn't how you act. This isn't how you think. This isn't how you feel. Let's go back. Let's go back to this. Let's go back to what's normal. Let's go back to what we know.
Which is what Miriam was talking about at the beginning. She's reworking her identity. Because if you just embrace this whole identity here, and all of a sudden you're operating up here, and you haven't changed your identity, you're going to be like, this is uncomfortable.
This isn't me.
This isn't me. This isn't who I am. And like all these forces are trying to get you back down. And you got to be like, wait a minute. No, this is the new me. I don't do that old stuff anymore. You guys with me? Are you feeling this? I want to reach you and just give you a hug right now. I don't do that old stuff anymore. I'm going to draw a line in the sand, and I'm done. I will never treat myself that way again. I will never disrespect myself. I will never treat others that way again because I don't do that.
Okay, and so now how do you do it? Is the question.
We got to read the comments first.
I do want to share this quote.
Okay, go for it.
This thought. I read this to you the other day, didn't I?
I don't know.
Okay, so you want to know how to do this. You want to know how to change this. And it's a process. It doesn't happen overnight. But like Greg always says, you can't change destinations overnight, but you can change direction overnight. So you can turn around and start going the right way.
Right now. You could decide right now. You guys, change comes in a moment.
Some of us are down here and we're facing this way. Or like that way, right?
Like,
Don't do that.
Digging deeper.
Turn around, okay? So you can turn around. And again, if you're here, don't go that way, go this way. You can turn around right now. You can make that change. And then every time you feel the same, turn around again. Just turn around.
And with total love, I know some of you right now, you literally just have to want it. And I know we're all in different spots. So with total love and encouragement and understanding, I've been in dark places, my friends. I've been desperate and depressed and hopeless. I've been where I didn't have food. I didn't know how I was going to get a next meal. I've been completely friendless and hopeless. No friends, family, nothing. I've been there. So I get it. But I want you to want it. Right, let me ask you right now, just do some soul searching. Do you truly want this? Now, for some of you, you might just have to believe that what we're saying is true because you can't conceive of this right now. If you're here and you're like, I can't, you must be out of your mind, right? And you're being skeptical. Really what that means is you're being fearful. You're afraid.
Well, sometimes we are afraid. We're afraid that it is true. Because then that makes us feel worse. Well, and I think there was a comment, which we're going to go through them.
Let's hear the comments.
I just want to
Did you
share
read
this.
your quote?
No, I didn't. But
Okay,
I want
read
to
your
share it real quick because this is a key piece. And we're going to talk about it, but I just want you to understand this if you can. Like, get this into your soul. You have to think greater than you feel. So whatever you are feeling regularly, you have to learn to think greater than that. You have to think beyond that.
Which is so challenging because of these barriers.
You're trying to think past these barriers, right? But you have to do that. If you don't do that, you will forever be stuck. And that I could guarantee. If you don't think greater than you feel now, you will forever be stuck.
I need a pulpit to pound right now. Pound that pulpit. Here's why. We literally put a ceiling above ourselves and we condemn ourselves to our current level.
And you will not get past that unless you learn to think past it. Okay? Feelings, whatever you feel on a daily basis, okay, those feelings are a record of your past experiences.
Stacking.
Those are a record of your past. Now, you'll create more of your past unless you learn to think and feel beyond that. Okay.
Let me interject real quick. Your past, if you guys are taking notes, write this down. Your past will not determine your future unless you live there.
And you keep thinking and feeling the same ways that you thought and felt in the past. Until you change the way you think and feel, you will not change your current circumstances.
Are you guys loving this? Like, I'm about to jump out of the roof here. I love this stuff.
Anyways, stop thinking and feeling in the past. Okay? Now, this is quantum physics here. By quantum law, that just recreates more of the past. When you think and feel the same feelings you thought in the past, you recreate more of the past. I even heard it said one time that your current reality today is how you have thought and felt in the past. And the only way to create the future you actually want is to change your thinking today.
Yeah.
Now, usually what happens is we think, oh, okay, I'm going to do that, and then it doesn't change soon enough, and so we stop thinking that way, and now we go back to where we were in the past. Does this make sense? I mean, I know it's a little esoteric here, but we're giving you the good stuff. We're giving you the truth here, okay? We got one yes. Look to the future. Dream of new vistas and bold landscapes in the not too distant future reality. Don't allow the familiar feelings of the past to resist the change in this direction. Does that make sense?
So don't allow the stacking to be this barrier. Like, break through the barrier, let go of the past stuff, and like, I can think and feel at a new level. In fact, I must. Make it a must. Make it absolutely necessary.
In fact,
you have to live there at a new level.
I think it was Tony Robbins, or actually maybe it was you. I don't know.
Probably.
I just got a quote that I put on my computer. Obsess about the things you want.
Yeah.
Too many of us don't think about the things we want because we're afraid we'll be disappointed. Do you realize that what it is? We're afraid. Again. Too many of us don't think enough about the things we want because we're afraid we'll be disappointed and not get them. You and I had this conversation the other day, remember? We were on the front porch, and I don't know what you listened to or watched or whatever, but people don't set goals. They don't have big dreams because they don't look at doing this because they're afraid they're going to be disappointed. Guess what? You will be disappointed. Disappointment lies on this path. You will be disappointed, but guess what? If you never are willing to face disappointment, you'll never get here. You have to be willing to face the disappointment. But you'll only face the disappointment by setting some big goals and dreams that you're willing to go after.
And while I was working out this morning, I just had this thunderbolt idea come into my mind. You have to make, somebody's practicing the piano, that was awesome. You have to make success your only option.
And let's expand on that, because some people have some word that means success to them, which is not, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Some people think success is this.
Okay, so let me reframe it. Like, if I have an objective that I want to go after, and I know I can create it, right? Mastering, here's one. You guys know I had an insane temper. It was straight crazy, right? But when I became absolutely determined to take control and direct my emotions, when I chose that, success, and I decided success is my only option. Like, what it means is I'm going to keep working, keep iterating, keep doing everything in my power until I get where I want to go. That's what I mean.
Which is responding with patience, love.
As my best self.
As your best self, right? That is success.
Man, so
when you say success is the only option, you're talking about whatever it is you hold in your mind as your future best self. That's your only option. Your future best self is your only option. That's success. Okay, let's do the comments.
Okay, wait. So she asked a question specifically about temper. So it was a lot of books about personal development, but I can recommend stuff now. There was a discourse called Agency and Anger. Oh, so good. And he's like, whoa. He's like, we say things like, she made me mad. I lost my temper. And he says, that's bogus. Nobody can make you feel anything. You don't lose your temper. You give it up. You give up control. He says you have to take full ownership of it. I love that thing. But then now I recommend books like Letting Go, books like The Untethered Soul. And these are emotional books that help you learn to process and control and direct your emotions, like take full responsibility and give you the tools to process them so you're not just explosive and you don't know what's happening.
Well, yeah, because very often anger is simply unprocessed emotions. You are feeling something and you're not sure how to define that, how to deal with it. And so we often just explode in anger at other people because we don't know how to process what we are feeling. So when you learn how to process what you're feeling, when you learn how to process your own emotions, you don't end up blowing up on your kids, because they spilled blueberries all over, frozen blueberries with stain all over the floor like they did this morning, right? You just like, oh, okay, let's clean up. Because you process your emotions instead of pushing them down, bottling them in until something happens that you snap and explode. That's basically what anger is, unless you have a legitimate reason for being angry, and that's a whole nother thing. That's like, I'm angry about sex slavery or something. That's
that makes me angry.
I know.
Where's your quote from? Somebody was asking.
Oh, well, that is a wonderful little book called, actually, it's not little, it's big. Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself by,
I can't remember
his name.
Joe Dispenza. So, hey, fair warning, it is very metaphysical.
You'll be like, whoa.
He's like, that dude's out there. He is woo. But consider
like
the ideas. Okay, I got to read this quote because it fits with what we're talking about. Thanks, Rich. A big problem to consider is that our thinking today is not just based on problems of our past. It's actually based on the way our parents thought and our grandparents thought and so on. Yes. It can be very different for each person. We're still responsible, but it should be considered that for some of us, this could be a massive reversal we are attempting. So what Rich is eloquently saying here is this stacking can literally be generational.
Yes. Which is 100% true.
Generational. It was for me, and it was for Rachel.
Absolutely.
We had to break free from all kinds of stuff from my parents and multiple stepdads.
In fact, my grandpa was an alcoholic and physically and verbally abused my dad. So my dad made a break and then was able to help set me on somewhat of a better path.
To make another break.
So yes, you're right. But how much more responsibility do we have to make that break?
For our kids.
Rather than being the ones who continue to pass that on to the next generation. Ooh. For us, that is a driving force. Like, we are going to be the game changer in our generation. Meaning our legacy. Like, that is the legacy we're leaving for our children. We are going to create change.
So this is a driving force, a huge why for both of us. This is my why. I have to transform my life. As hard as it is to break through these barriers, to literally recreate myself, I have to for my children and my grandchildren. I will not pass on what was passed to me. Mm-hmm. The poverty mindset. They told me as a kid, my whole family has red hair. Every one of us has red hair.
All of them. Red.
Every last one of us. And they told us, oh, you guys all have the redheaded temper. It just comes with the hair. And we believed it. I will not pass that on. That's why I married someone with dark hair.
We don't have any redheads. Luckily, we can say.
The temper stopped with genetics. No, it's bogus. It's thinking. It's mindset. I will not pass that on. That's my why.
And in this comment more, yeah, it's a massive potential and it's going to be really, really hard. It's not easy. We're not saying it's easy. It gets easier because the more capable and competent you become, the easier it gets. Leveling up makes you more capable. You gain more skills, you gain more insight, you gain more knowledge, you gain more wisdom. It makes you more comfortable. What's the word?
I don't know.
Competent. I just used it, the same word. It makes you capable. Makes you more capable. So, oh, what's that quote that's so good? That not that the
It's Emerson.
nature of the
So is
thing
it that
itself
which,
has changed.
Well, let me-
Go ahead.
hold
You
on.
do.
that which we persist in doing becomes easier to do. Not that the nature of the thing has changed, but our ability to do has increased.
Yes, exactly.
Close quote. Emerson wisdom right there. And we can do this. Oh, I love it.
So you become more capable of doing these things because you're growing.
Can
you're
I-
developing.
This is the coach in me here. Can I reach through the camera and gently grab you by the shoulders and get a little bit close here and say, sorry, Mary, if I'm getting a little too close, you're backing up. You're like, no, you're getting, just getting uncomfortable. You're in my space. No. I want to just say this with total frankness and love. This is in your power. You can do this. I don't care who you are, where you came from, what you experienced. God has given you power to take control of your life. You can do this. No more excuses, no more blame game. Own this stuff. Own it. And be done with it.
And
The things that need to be gone.
I want to make a point here too, because there's also the rest of the comment talking about willpower. Ultimately, I don't think it comes down to willpower. This is not about willpower. It's not willpower that gets you here.
That would be too exhausting.
You'd
be worn out.
Willpower is a exhaustible resource, meaning you can use it up. You have more willpower in the morning than you do at night. It's not willpower. The thing that gets you there is vision. When you have a vision that drives you, when you, like we're talking about, we're going to create this legacy for our children and nothing is going to stop us from doing that. That gives you the drive.
It
Now,
becomes
there
a
are some-
magnificent obsession.
Yes, now there are some tools that help, and that's kind of what we're talking about here, is you have to use the right tools because all the vision in the world is not going to get you there either. But it's not necessarily about the willpower. It's about the vision, and then it's about the right tools. And if you're relying on willpower, which is somewhere in the middle here and it fluctuates, it's not going to happen.
You'll just piddle off.
You need the
You'll get worn
tools,
out.
the strategies, and the vision.
Ooh. Which is where we're going to give you energy. And Allison's comment here is perfect, right? And sometimes it's because I don't have the energy to clean up the blueberries
Exactly.
that
Yeah.
I get angry.
Mhm.
Things are not so big when you have energy. That's exactly
It's
what
that-
I'm talking about.
So true.
Your
So
goals,
true.
like think about this. If you're trying to get healthy and you got energy, you move your body and
it's easy.
It's easy. You're like, dang, I love working out. This feels fantastic. If you're low energy, you're like, oh, I can't do my workout. Right? You can't parent. You can't show up. If you're trying to start a business and scale it, that takes energy.
Mm-hmm.
So we got to get in this.
Thought energy, brain energy, feeling energy. There's lots of different energy going on here. So you have to have, back to this idea. You need the vision. You need this driving vision, but ultimately you need the energy to make it happen. Because if you don't have that energy, you're going to get up in the morning and you're going to do your morning routine and your kids are going to interrupt you and you're going to get upset and the whole day is shot. Has that ever happened to you? Like you just lose it and that's it. And it's not necessarily anything except a lack of energy direction. I would almost say it's that. We direct our energy at being frustrated and irritated and upset instead of directing our energy at recalibrating, exactly, recalibrating our energy to go the right direction. Okay, they did this. They spilled the blueberries. Let's clean up. Let's make this a positive experience. Recalibrate and back at it.
Love it.
Okay, comments. We keep
Yeah,
saying we're gonna go
well, hold on, wait. I got to reiterate what you said. You guys write this down. What we focus on, we feel. What we focus on, we feel. Rachel was talking about that. Focus on increasing your energy. Focus on where you're going so you feel that. Don't focus on where you've been. Don't even focus on where you are. I mean, get clear about where you are so you're honest with yourself. But then focus on where you're going. Last quick comment. Thanks, Adam. Anatomy of Peace. Excellent book. So
Yes.
if you have family members who are
yeah,
struggling with
that's a great
emotions,
book.
do Anatomy of Peace and Untitled Soul. Excellent resources.
Okay, let's go
Let's
back.
go
to
back up to your
comments
awesome
here.
comments about what would you do with greater energy. And this is what's possible. So I don't want you to say this, oh, wouldn't that be great? Or, oh, it's not wishful thinking. This is legit stuff. This is how you can roll when you generate more energy. I would produce way more content every day.
Yes.
I would do more with my kids and be creative in doing it. I would engage with more people, or engage with people more, both. My business would be going better. It's so hard to do my work when I feel low energy. Yes, you guys get this.
Mm-hmm.
I would play with my kids. I would stick to my goals better. I would like I could conquer things, right? I could handle the world and be able to give my husband, my kids the mental space they need.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, that one makes me feel like killing. Yes, right. And that you guys, please, please, please hear me. If you don't hear anything else, hear me. This is your future reality. If you get through this stuff, this is not a pipe dream. This isn't wishful thinking. This is real. We do it, not because we're special, not because we have some unique genetic, whatever, or magic power. Like, we are strategic about this and have been consistently. Can you hear the words that are coming out of my mouth? Like, this is real. Please don't think, if you're here, and I've been there, and you just think, yeah, whatever, that's bogus. They're just making it up. They're either on something or they're just telling a story to sell something.
Your face.
I know. Focus on this face. Right? Oh, it's real. Let's keep going. This is so good. I'm just going to repeat, Allison. I could handle the world and be able to give my spouse and my kids the mental, emotional, spiritual, physical space they need. Oh, man. I would attack my goals. Yes, Emily.
Yeah.
That's the right word when you have energy. I would attack my goals, knock years off the timeline. Oh, you guys are genius. Love your comments. Social energy, right? What an awesome concept. I feel joy and strong when I have energy. I've been battling the nothing since March, right? And you get in the blood,
Thanks,
the
COVID.
space. Yeah. But it's not. It's not anything external. External stuff can be a stimulus, but it only affects you if you let it. It only hits you if you believe it.
And
Hold
this
on.
is not to deny the reality and the
No, you got to see things
depth
as they are.
of challenge. There are legitimate challenges. We're not saying that this eliminates challenge from your life. This is not what we're saying. There are still plenty of challenges.
This is how you handle
Legitimate challenges. So, pandemics, economic crashes, whatever, all of those things can happen. This doesn't mean they don't happen here. They do. But you become more capable of dealing with them, and you're able to move through the emotions that come quicker when you gain these skills.
And even enjoy life still in the midst of challenges and struggles. Try that one on for size. My friends, hold on, a little pause here for a minute. Your beliefs are your boundaries. Write that down. Your beliefs are your boundaries.
Which include your feelings. I want to emphasize feelings here. Your
you
feelings,
go back to that
the way
emotional
you feel
home.
are creating boundaries on your life. Your consistent emotions and feelings are creating boundaries in your life. You have to learn to change your feelings and your thoughts.
So if you want to remove your current limitations, you got to alter some of your beliefs and your feelings. You got to change your energy. All of this is so good. Okay, I would feel more hope Well, hold on. I skipped
brought
one.
marketing for my business.
Rock the marketing. Yeah. I would clean my house and do meaningful activities with my kids.
Mhm.
Love that. Thank you. I would feel more hope. Would stay excited about what I start out loving. That's such
Rather
a
than
great
burning out.
insight.
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh, I start things all the time and I get in burnout mode. Like, oh, I don't want to finish this, right? But when you have energy, you finish things.
When you know how to renew the energy. Because
Yep.
again, we also want to emphasize, it's not that you still don't experience the same emotions, but you gain the skills to be able to process through them faster. I think ultimately that's one of the major differences of living in this zone. Is not that you face the same challenges, you have the same emotions, you have the same feelings, and you get burnt out in all levels. But when you're up here, you learn how to move past the burnout quicker. You learn how to move past the despondency quicker. You learn how to deal with the anger better, right? You're just learning how to deal with the emotions that already exist, but in a better way and a faster way, because ultimately that's what's slowing us down. We get stuck in the emotions and it keeps us from progressing. That's what's happening. You are getting stuck in these emotions that have defined your past and are defining your present, and you can't move forward. So when you can move through the emotions, that's when you can move to higher levels. Get back over.
Gold, woman, gold. I love it. Oh, this is so good. All of you, thank you. Okay, keep going with the comments here. I would reach goals instead of just writing them down.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, amen. Who can relate to that, right? Yeah, I got a list of them, but I don't work on them because I'm too tired, right? We can change that. I would be a force for good outside of myself. I love that. If I had 5 times as much energy, I'd move forward and push through projects that have been backburned, right? And would push through with projects that have obstacles and not move them to the back burner.
Mm-hmm.
That's a huge one. When I work with my clients, we're talking about productivity. It's like, what major meaningful projects are you working on? And Nathan, you're spot on. When we're low energy, you bump up against those projects, and all you want to do in this space down here, all you want to do is back burner everything because you're low energy. So raise that energy, become a generator up here, and you're like, where's the next project? Because you face your challenges and you chase your dreams.
And you push through the obstacles. You have the mental energy to find solutions and to get through those obstacles instead of just like, I can't deal with that.
Oh, I love it. Another one from Travis or Alicia said, if I had 5 times the energy, I think I could be more consistent throughout the day instead of the ups and downs and the swings of energy. So true. Great insight. Love it. Keep going here, hitting this. Been trying to get out of survival since the COVID started, right? It wasn't going to be 2 weeks, or 6 weeks. The bleakness of an eternal shutdown. That's a cloud. It does. And you guys, sometimes that just happens individually or in a family or in a community or globally. And we've got to break through those clouds and be the light, the sunshine that just breaks through those clouds and burns off the fog to get back in the game.
Mm-hmm. So she says, any thoughts?
Oh, I got thoughts.
Yeah, we've got thoughts.
That's going to be the whole strategy we're going to get to.
Well, I know, but I like to address the specific comments because
she said it feels like the goals are being suffocated. Great, man, great writing there.
And I totally get that
poetic.
Because we'll have a goal, and then especially if something outside of our control happens that prevents us from reaching that goal, or so it feels, right, that we're being prevented from reaching that goal, then it is easy to just be like, there's no hope. I guess I can't do this. I can't make this happen. And I think the key here, whenever we're in a situation like that, is we have to be able to go in, like, I don't know, whatever you want to call them. Like, you have to reevaluate. You have to go back to looking within yourself and say, okay, do I really want this goal? Is this goal really that important to me? Are the obstacles I think I'm facing really legitimate? Right? And am I prevented from getting the goal, or is it just being postponed? Because sometimes we take the postponement of our goals as a sign that, oh, it's not happening. And that's where people give up. But often we're being tested. Like, how bad do you really want this thing? And are you willing to keep pushing through? So if you really want it, and you really, what, you want something to say? Or what?
Keep going. I got something to say now about what you just said.
If you really want it that bad, then just consider. This may not be that your goal's not happening, it's just being postponed. Or you're going to have to get a little more creative about how to achieve it because of outside circumstances that are affecting it.
Marcus Aurelius, who was the last great emperor of the Roman Empire, wrote in his diary one morning, "Sometimes we believe the impediment is in the way, but really the impediment is
Yes.
the way."
Yes, yes, yes. What does that mean?
What stands in the way, I don't know. What does that mean? What is this guy talking about? Those Romans, they say the most confusing things. What he's saying is,
What stands
in the way becomes the way.
What is in your way is the way to getting what you want. Now, when you fully understand that, it will blow your mind. What is we should teach standing up more often, because we're just like, what stands in your way is the way. Because whatever it requires of you to become, to do, to grow, whatever, that becomes the way. You have to become the person that can overcome that challenge. And that is the way you achieve your goal.
Or you will forever be stuck at your current level.
Exactly.
Your obstacle is your opportunity. Write that down. My obstacle is my opportunity.
What stands in the way is the way.
It's your blessing. It's not your curse.
It's there to make you grow. It's there to make you develop yourself. And if you don't see that, and you just think it's standing in your way, and you're like, well, I guess I can't have my goal, you'll stay back here. You'll stay stuck. You have to embrace the obstacle. Now, if you want to learn more about that, you should read The Obstacle's Way by, what's his name?
Ryan Holiday. Yeah.
Oh, it's right there.
Excellent book.
That's a great book. One of my favorites, I think.
Yeah.
The obstacle is the way. What stands in the way is the way. Thank you.
Man, I'm coming up with statements here. Look, your obstacle is your opportunity. Your challenge is your chance. I don't think I've ever said that before. I should write it down. Your challenge.
I know.
Your challenge is your chance. I'm saying it right into the microphone. Your challenge is your chance. This is your chance to make the change. Because where there's pain, there's power. Where there is pain, there is power. Feel the pain and then turn on your power. No more excuses. No more playing victim. It is time to take ownership of your life and level up. Can I singe your eyebrows here for a minute? Like, it's time, people. Stop using that as an excuse. See that obstacle as your opportunity. That challenge as your chance to own this stuff and to stop playing the victim to it. Ooh, don't make me come over there in person. Because I will. Oh, you see what I'm saying? Like, with so much love and gentleness and excitement. I love it. Like, you can do this. You can do this. Yes, you. I know some of you are doubting yourself right now. You can do this. You can create transformation in yourself and in your family. and in your business and your life.
And just because you have obstacles is proof that you can do it, because the
Exactly.
obstacles are the way.
Yes. Man, I love this stuff. Okay, hold on. So let's keep going here. Been trying to get out of survival mode. Whoa, for a couple of years. I've been living there since I got mono in my mid-20s. Felt great before that. It was so easy to be positive when I felt great physically. Yes, you're reiterating there so well what we're talking about, and you can bring that back.
Mm-hmm.
There, you can recreate that. Okay, you've got to get your body fully optimized where you can get back that energy level and more. Let's see.
Allison talked about glimpses of the energetic life, yo-yo back and forth. Then Rich, glimpses
Okay,
can
so
be
hold
a
on.
curse.
So this is what you're saying. So glimpses can be a curse because knowing how good things can be makes survival mode feel worse. I would switch that. I would invite you to consider that it's not a curse, it's actually a blessing.
Well, I
So
get the
this-
point, though.
But let me
I'll let you
read
finish.
it. Seeing this makes this hurt on purpose.
You're saying the hurt is a blessing.
The hurt is a blessing. Seeing it is a blessing because when you see what's possible, and then you don't want to live less than you're capable of.
Well, okay, so it depends on how you interpret the hurt. Because if we interpret the hurt and use it to just feel more sorry about our life and our experience, right? Which we've been there.
Yep.
You see it and you're like, yes, I want that.
Then it's
and you're
torture.
like, my
It's just
life
torture.
sucks and I hate it.
I'll never get there. Yeah.
Yes,
I hate
it is
myself. I hate
torture.
everything.
But if you can learn to turn that around and make that be a driving force where you are like, I will not allow this anymore. I will not accept this. I am going to change this, okay? And this is when you have to bring in a little quantum physics almost, because you have to learn to see and feel past your current reality. Whatever your current reality is right now, and you see that glimpse, and makes you hate your life even more, you have to learn to feel and think past that to what you want. Did I say the thing that I said that you said, or Tony Robbins said? No.
Say it again.
You have to learn to obsess about what you want.
Yeah, you said it. Say that again.
Okay. You have to learn to obsess about what you want. And I did say this before, because I said we're afraid to do that because we think we'll be disappointed. There will be disappointment, but the only way you're going to here's the thing that's crazy. We're afraid we'll be disappointed, but ultimately what we end up achieving is way better than you can currently imagine right now. We imagined all sorts of things for our life, and the life that we ended up creating was 10 times better than we could have ever imagined back there. We couldn't have even thought up this stuff. What you end up getting is way better than what you can think of right now. But you will be disappointed along the way. But that doesn't mean that you shouldn't obsess about what you want. You have to obsess about what you want. You have to think about it. You have to feel it. And you have to know that it's real and possible. Okay.
Ooh.
Next.
Wait, hold on. I want to hit this home because I know there's going to be a lot of you who face this. You glimpse what might be possible. You come to trainings like this and we're like, no, you can live at a higher level. And you're like, we got a message. It was actually a beautiful message. Somebody's like, sometimes I hate you, Dennings, because you're just so optimistic and you're trying to live life that is better. Can't we just, it was really cute. Like, sometimes it gets so frustrated. But that's our message. Like, we've been down in these lower levels and you can climb out. You can too. If we can do it, anyone can. Here's what I want to say. For those of you who glimpse things and then feel pain,
Which is normal.
It's totally normal. I think for me, where it all changed is where I felt the pain. If I saw something that was someone or something that was better than where I was, if I took that pain and I put it right here as an identity thing of like, oh, I'm a schmuck, I'm not good enough. I'll never have it, which I did. I did that for a long time. I felt the pain right here as an identity piece on me. When I took the pain and put it behind me, yes,
Kick you in the pants?
a kick in the pants. Literally, you're just taking the pain. Instead of the pain coming in here and pushing you back, you take the pain and you stick it back here, and it drives you like a cattle prod. And you're like, that hurts. I'm getting out of here. And let it drive you. Take the power instead of letting it crush you, and let it drive you. It's a choice. It's a choice that I had to shift all of that thinking. And like, all this pain is weighing me down. No, I'm going to take it and use it to climb, to grow. And you can find 10,000 great stories or more about people who've used the pain of their circumstances to totally transform their lives.
And I would say that the pain, I would say the pain is necessary, really. Because without the pain, many of us will never do anything about our lives. Yeah. My daughter came to me one time, and they love books about superheroes and stuff. And she said, Mom, if you could have any superpower, what would you want to have? I don't remember what I said, but I remember what she said. She told me that she would choose to not feel any pain. And it was really interesting because we had this discussion after. I'm like, well, actually, though, I don't know that would be smart. Having pain is good for us. If we didn't have pain, like, you could end up hurting yourself and dying and not even know about it, right? The pain is good. And at the time when she made that comment, we were going through a difficult part in our life, difficult time. And I realized that the lesson was for me too. We were experiencing pain, but that pain, because we made the choice, was driving us. At our lowest moments, at our most pivotal moments in our life, there has been extreme pain.
Yeah.
And the pain has driven us to move to higher levels.
So let me drive this home real quick. Real transformation, you guys, real change comes from only one of two sources. Jot this down. Real
Like
change only comes from two sources.
Spider-Man?
Either horrible. It's pain or inspiration. It is a moment where the pain gets so bad and you finally say, enough. Now, some of you endure pain for a lot of years before you finally say enough. I did that too. I'm like, duh, why did I wait so long? Like, I just endured all that. You get to this point where it's like, enough. I will not tolerate that in my life anymore. I am done. Or it's a point of inspiration where you are so inspired, it literally creates a transformation inside of you that then becomes your reality and you move on. And ideally, you have both. But you've got to have those things, and you got to let it hit and hit hard. Oh, man, that's good. Okay, let's keep going here. Another comment. That's been me lately. Every night I tell myself I'm going to get up early, and most days I sleep on through. Although a few days I've gotten up early and it felt like I accomplished so much. Remember that. Focus on the days you do get up and succeed, because that's the reward. Remind yourself. In fact, when you're going to sleep at night, remind yourself how good it felt that day you did get up. And then just when you wake up, say, I want that day. I want that day. Don't focus on how you feel at the moment. Remember, what you focus on, you feel. If you focus on tired at the moment, I do this too. In fact, I did this morning at 3, right? I didn't want to wake up. I go, I'm tired. I'll probably be tired today. I have a live training I have to do. I should. And then I'm like, come on, you know better than that. Let's go. You got things to do. This is an exciting day of life. And I don't need an opportunity clock even to go off because I'm up. I'm ready, right? So get going on life. All right, we're going to go trying to catch up now with all these awesome quotes. Thanks, you guys, so much for all the great quotes.
Someone missed the quote.
You said where it's from.
Okay.
Really struggle. Okay, we have a preteen who's really struggling with sleep, nighttime anxiety right now. That takes our energy, a ton of it. So what do you do when you really have no control over things taking our energy? Boom. Thank you very much for that question. All right. This is actually one of the main strategies I want to cover today. And it's that where we have energy leaks. So jot this down.
Well, I thought first you were going to address the way that was worded.
Go for it.
So right
I
there,
will.
I can, what?
I was thinking about it, but you go.
Right there, the way you're wording it is a form of a limiting belief. What do we do when we have no control over things taking our energy? So ultimately, we have to understand that we are in charge of our energy and no one can take it from us. Now, that doesn't mean that there aren't experiences or things that happen in our families, in our life, that can use a lot of our energy. But because we're energy generators, we can renew that energy, or we can switch the meaning something has so that it becomes less of an energy drain on us, right?
For
so
example,
we have control. We just have to recognize that control and then change the stories we're telling ourselves and be able to either, one, renew our energy, or two, find out how to make it less draining.
resist the drain.
Yeah.
And how this works is like if this entire group was here together and something, significant happened to all of us simultaneously, would we all be drained the same way? And the answer is no. In fact, some of us actually might be energized by it. And so what Rachel's saying is spot on. It depends on the meaning you give it and what you allow to happen to you. Again, your energy is in your control. So don't slip into victim mode here and say, I can't do anything about this. It's out of my control. There's actually way more you can do about this. And in this specific instance, like this is why we're gonna start doing group coaching, because we can dive deep into specific instances like this. In this specific instance, there is so much you can do to be insanely proactive about, you're addressing that from the first thing in the morning, bam, 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 preparing for the nighttime. And you can get, there's activities and strategies, philosophy. There's so much you can do to eliminate that. And then there's ways you can prepare yourself and gear up so that you're not having an emotional drain, and actually you're bringing energy into that and you can come out more energized. There's a lot there that you can do so it doesn't have to be a big energy drain every evening.
Yeah, I would say by the very fact that you already realize this is something going on in your life, right? There's this nighttime anxiety that's happening. You can prepare for that. If you know things are challenges in your family life or any whatever, business, personal life, marriage, you can now prepare for that. And you don't have to wait until it's happening to deal with it.
And then just go, here we go again.
Yeah, the best time to deal with that is when you're not right in the moment. The best time to deal with it is to think about it proactively earlier during the day and then make a plan to help it go smoother, right? Even if all you do is mentally prepare yourself saying, okay, at about this time, we're going to go through this experience again. I'm going to be mentally prepared so that instead of being drained by this, or instead of being frustrated or irritated by this, I'm going to use it as a positive experience. Maybe it's just a great time to bond with this child. If you just go into this as like, this is a bonding time, that's it. And I'm going to do whatever they want to do, need to do, whatever it is. We cuddle, we read. I don't know.
Here's what I would
do.
I would every single night without fail, I would be reading with that child from a book that I know will be planting better, healthier psychology. Every night. Like, hey, this is our reading time. It's going to be a book they love and enjoy. So you're connecting, you're loving, and you're reading together something that's reframing the psychology that's going on. There's just thinking patterns there. That's all it is, just thinking patterns. And so we're going to rework that. And I would make that a top priority. If it's happening every night and it's a problem, my number one priority is going to be reframing that in a good way. So I'm bringing energy to it, positive, good energy to it. And I'm being so strategic all day long about recreating that thought process and pattern.
And just reframing. And if you did nothing, like that's a bonus in some ways of reframing your child's thinking. But if you do nothing but reframe it in your own mind, it's going to make the situation better. Because now instead of you seeing it as this interruption to your life, right, that drains your energy, you now see it as a positive thing. I get to bond with my kid this night, every night until it's not a problem anymore. This is a positive thing. And so now instead of becoming a drain on your energy, it becomes, it can't even energize you, and it becomes a whatever.
A beautiful thing. It's a beautiful
thing.
outcome. Right? So there it is again. What stands in the way becomes the way.
Exactly.
To a really beautiful relationship and a much stronger psychology for the whole family.
And we know this because we've done this exact thing with our kids. We've had, you know, a 9-year-old that would have things, and we would now turn this into a bad thing. It's now a bonding time. Same with our other kids, that our younger girls that didn't want to go to bed. Instead of it being a interruption to our nighttime routine, we just found new ways to make it
really
a meaningful, positive thing. And so, yeah, what stands in the way becomes the way, because you have to, this is what a lot of us don't take enough time to do. I'm sorry. We just go through life and we just go through life. And if we can face the obstacles and step back and look at them and say, okay, what do I do with this? How do I make this work to my benefit? Instead of saying, all of my plans are ruined now, whatever, you know, I'm thrown off. How can I use this to my benefit? How can this make me a better person, a better mother, a better whatever? Use it. Use these things to your benefit. Okay.
So good.
Or
now,
newborns.
With newborns.
Yes, newborns are a little more challenging.
It is more
but
challenging.
There's still ways you can be strategic. Like, you know, the newborn's going to wake up. So don't get mad when it happens, because it just is going to happen. And then when I was, you know, when I had newborns, I would just find ways to make that time meaningful. I literally had books spread all over the house, and anytime I sat down to nurse the baby, instead of being like, oh, I can do nothing, you know, I have books everywhere, so I could read stuff, I could listen to stuff, you still just, you take what you have. Creating your ideal life is not about creating a life where everything is perfectly how you imagine it to be. That is not realistic. Maybe if you were single with no kids, no spouse, like, you could maybe create that. But then, yeah, anyways. In family life, that's not realistic. So what you do is you take what you have and learn how to make it a little bit better. So if you're breastfeeding and you're waking up at night, okay, how can you make that a little bit better? How can you get a little bit better sleep? How can you get a little bit more reading in? How can you, you know, get a little bit cleaner house? You're not going from here to here. You're going from where you are, and you're making a 1% improvement. And you do that over a lifetime, and now you've achieved the life of your dreams. Along the way, though, too. Like, the journey is the dream. The journey is the dream, too. You don't have to wait till you get to some specific destination. When you are conscious and intentional about making changes, you are living the dream, instead of living in a fog. Okay.
Woo! Okay, everybody move for a little bit right now. Reset. Gotta move, wiggle, dance if you can. Like, move your body. You gotta, in fact, here's one of the key strategies, you guys. You have to move your body in order to move your mind. A lot of us sit there like this. We have our hunched over shoulders, we have our droopy face, and we're like, I'm awake, energized, and alive. I'm gonna crush it today at work. I'm giving my everything to the kids today. Blah, 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 blah. Like, move your body. You literally, and there's science behind this, you literally create a biochemical transformation in your body when you stand up straight with your shoulders back. In fact, that's step number 1 from Jordan Peterson, right? In the 12 rules for life. Rule number 1, you got to move your body. So first strategy, you want to change your energy levels, you've got to move your body. That means good posture, good positioning, the way you carry yourself, vigorous movement every day.
And more specifically, you should be moving your body for at least 5 to 10 minutes every hour.
Yep.
So we're getting into real strategies now. You want to have energy all day long, move your body for at least 5 to 10 minutes every hour. If you have to set an alarm, do it.
In fact, do it right now. Schedule it. Set alarms right now. Because if you just write it in your notebook and you never do it, you won't get there.
And you move your body, and you can do some of this stuff, and you can do some of this
do some
stuff.
tiny.
This generates energy.
Yes, it feels so good. You can do some air squats. You do some sit-ups, some yoga. I learned this from this Chinese master the other day. It's called the tortoise breathing. You breathe in like this, And then what you do is you bring all this power and energy, and you bring it in like this, and then you do a crunch, and you blow out. And you just do that 20 times.
20 times?
Yeah.
That's too much.
We won't do it right now. But I did it with a client the other day. We did 5 times, and he's like, I'm tingling all over. This is amazing. You feel so great, right? So you've got to move your body. If you're going to move your mind, you've got to move your body. Create some energy by moving your body. Be strategic about it, okay? And when alarm goes off, just do it. Make yourself do it. When you say go, go. Okay, I got another thing. I know some of you will not like this, but that's the point. Get in cold water. It just works. I know it's miserable. It just works. It
You will be
literally,
awake after
like,
that.
it wakes you up. It gives you energy. It gets all your lymph nodes like activated and alive and operating. It's actually really good for you. Plus, every day you're doing something that's hard. It's tough to do that. Just turn on the cold water for just a second. If you're just starting, just go cold for a second. Go, ah! And then turn it back on.
I usually take the hot shower and then I do cold at the end. Greg likes to get right in a cold shower, which is
Because it's mental toughness. I hate it. Every single time I hate it, I'm like, ooh, I just have to do this. Go! And I just stand there like, I hate this. Because you get used to doing tough things. When I say go, we go. Right? You gotta establish that in your life. All right.
Okay.
Let's keep going. How do you separate your feelings?
Wait, you need to learn to process burnout. Okay.
Yeah, she's trying to burn through emotions faster, get recovery. How do you process your feelings from what your RAS, your reticular activating system, is filtering? Somebody's been watching the videos. Good job. Your RAS, your reticular activating system, is filtering your perspective. How do you find the truth around you? So our feelings come from what we focus on, right? We focus on you feel, and our feelings come from our thoughts. Almost every single feeling you're having, if you follow it back, you'll find a thought. And it may be a pattern.
A thought that happened a long time ago.
Yeah, it's
If
totally
a memorized
unconscious.
feeling.
Yep, so you memorize it and you're like, no, I don't think anything. No, it's there. It's usually tied to a thought. What's interesting is your RAS is grabbing stuff to reconfirm your thoughts and feelings.
Your current
We're
thoughts or
protecting what we believe, right? You have to switch that out. So you have to be constantly exposing yourself to new ideas, new truths,
So
right? Doing this coming to this is bumping up against a lot of these thoughts and beliefs and feelings you have and making question the reality of like, wait a minute, what's true here? Right?
some ways this can be tricky because she says, find the truth around you. Well, in some ways, the truth may not be around you. Your current reality, your current living situation, your current circumstances.
Oh, it might only be this reality.
Well, right. What you're experiencing currently is not necessarily truth. Does that make sense even? What you are currently experiencing is not necessarily truth. Your current circumstances, thoughts, feelings, experiences is not necessarily truth, or at least your ultimate truth, or your best self's truth.
Yes, there you go.
So when you're talking about looking for the truth around you, you might not see it around you. You have to see it here. You have to see it in the books you read and the people you talk to and those who have created new realities for themselves.
Can I give a concrete example?
Because that's kind of
So
esoteric.
let's say we let our family culture slip a little bit. We haven't been as intentional. We haven't been leading as well. We kind of been grumpy ourselves or whatever. So we let the family culture slip and we notice that the kids are fighting way more and there's a lot of fighting. Then you might say in your mind the truth, like, well, geez, I guess family life includes a lot of fighting. And then you start saying to yourself, well, I bet all families fight. And this is pretty brutal. And so you start to believe the truth is families just fight. And you have to stop and say, wait a minute, is that always true? Is that total truth?
Well,
or
a
can
lot
we
of people
create?
don't ever stop to say that.
Right, they don't ever stop. And they never see anything else, so it becomes their reality. So what Rachel's saying is,
what you see, what you think, and what you feel are reconfirming this belief and recreating this reality. Now, the only way to move past that is to see and think and feel beyond it. To something that is not around you, but something that is out there.
and up here.
And up there.
which is, I love this. I love
So
this.
that is the truth you're looking for. And this can happen with reading things, getting exposed to new ideas, maybe even watching videos, being coached, vision boards, right? Vision boards aren't just this flu thing. This, oh yeah, you just look at stuff and it comes true. That's not what it is. You're training your brain to think beyond your current reality.
I noticed that earlier, Mary. I noticed that earlier. Love it.
You're training your brain to think and feel beyond your current reality. If you don't do that on a regular basis, you won't create anything different. You can't. Your brain can't do it unless you give it some higher vision of what you're going for. You have to think and feel greater than your current feelings and thoughts. Okay.
Yeah, hold on, wait. Okay, this is good. So next comment, I love this, you guys. Thank you so much. Next comment says, I've been trying to be a light. Every day I try to be a light. Okay, wonderful, fantastic. I'm going to call you out on the next sentence. Ready? This is the coaching love here. But that is exhausting in and of itself. Why? Why do you believe that it's exhausting to be a light? I think it's invigorating to be a light. I think it energizes me and charges me. I love being a light.
Now,
so what's the meaning you're attaching to it and why?
Yeah, that's exactly what you have to look at. What is the meaning of being a light and what that means and how you're doing it that's making it exhausting? If you are living authentically and you're authentically letting that light shine, that's not exhausting, that's just existing.
It's just living, and it's actually fun.
So if this is happening, then the way you're going about it is not working. So you have to rethink all of that. Maybe you're trying to be someone you're not. Maybe you're trying to teach something you don't believe. Maybe you're, I don't know what it is.
It's going back to that feeling like the clouds of darkness are suffocating me. So I'm just being me, and normally that would be fine, but I feel like I have to put extra effort to ignore and get past the darkness. Like it's the energy of overcoming the darkness in my surrounding me,
in myself,
not me being me.
Yes. Okay, good. Thank you.
Yeah,
that was beautiful.
that's great.
Thank you for sharing that.
My first thoughts are, in that case, you don't need to worry about being a light. You just need to worry about finding the light within. You need to worry about how can Greg likes to always say, you can't draw from an empty well. If you're feeling darkness and you're feeling all these things, that's your priority. Focus on that. Focus on yourself. Turn within. And then once you can feel that well, once you can find that light, then it's not exhausting. You don't have to feel any obligation to be a light to anyone. And that kind of goes against what a lot of people think and believe.
And what I think and believe. But no, it's just two sides of the coin. Keep going.
But you know what I'm saying.
I totally know what you're saying. It's two sides of the coin.
And I think maybe this is a mother's perspective more so, because I know I've been in that place where I'm just like, yeah, it's a cloud of darkness, and I'm just like, and if you try to keep being that light instead of feeling your light, finding your light, finding yourself in some ways. I know for me, it was that I had to find myself. Then it's easy to be that light. It's easy to do that because you feel it.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And I want to say, like, I'm going to say that you don't have to feel this obligation, because I know as a mom, there's been many times where I feel an obligation to do certain things. And of course, there's, if you've got a baby, yeah, you're obligated to do certain things. That I'm not going to you're not obligated to feed that baby. No, I'm not saying that. But at some point, you have to stop feeling that obligation, and you have to find yourself so that you can bless the world.
Yeah. And I want to support what Rachel's saying and emphasize right now. And I love that you said that. It feels so hard and so exhausting right now because you feel empty or dark yourself. So number one responsibility right now is take care of you. Self-care. That's why the extraordinary family life formula starts with you. It has to. Because you guys, if we are empty, if we are low energy, if we're just dragging ourselves, how in the world can we carry others?
And we can't we can't improve our marriage, we can't improve our parenting, we can't improve our family culture, we can't improve our finances, and then of course the world, if this is empty.
So like focus right now, all of you, whoever this applies to, if it applies to all of you, fill yourself. Make sure you are full. Make sure you're generating energy every single day. You're refilling. Make sure you're practicing self-care and self-development. Like get to this place, Marissa, and I totally get what you're saying. I want to empathize because I've been there. And I know what you're saying, where it felt incredibly hard for me to step up and try to lead because I felt so empty and frustrated myself. So I totally get it. I want to make sure you know I understand. When I felt myself there, I switch all my energy and attention to filling myself with light. And then once I'm back in this great space, it just radiates from me like without energy. It's just radiating because I'm just living. And so it's no longer hard. It's no longer exhausting because I'm full of light instead of trying to create light from somewhere for the emptiness. So, and we'll give some more strategies here.
Makes sense.
Oh man, I have a coaching session in a minute. This is awesome. I love this stuff. Let's hit a few more things. The book, Nathan, about overcoming obstacles was The Obstacle is the Way. Oh, there it is. Somebody put that in there. Okay, great.
Well, okay. Laura asked about specific strategies. We've given a few. We're going to give some more. We end up talking a lot. Yeah, let's get into specific strategies.
Okay, hit it, go.
So, you guys have heard us talk about morning routines before. There's an interesting point I want to make, though.
Wait, sorry.
Yeah.
I saw 2 questions about a book list. I have a free book list on our website. Is it on Extraordinary Family?
Yeah.
Go to courses.extraordinaryfamilylife.com. It is a free book list. It's all on there. It's divided up for youth and adults, divided into topics and genres. Then there's a full section just for boys specifically. There's a lot of stuff on there about power of positive thinking and just great books for kids and teens to be reading, and psychology, personal development, business, all of it. It's a phenomenal resource. Go access it and use it. Okay, now let's dive in. Strategies, fast and furious.
There's going to be a few things that I think for us have been the most powerful. Now, I've already talked about more. I already mentioned morning routine, so I'm going to talk about that. But I'm going to make a point here, okay? Because my daughter actually said something about this the other day. She's 17, and she does a morning routine because we taught her to do a morning routine. She was talking to one of her friends, and she was commenting how interesting it was that it was like 10:30 in the morning, and this friend was like, "Yeah, I just really can't wait till tomorrow to start the day off right." And she's like, "It's only 10:30 in the morning. Like, what are you talking about? You've got the rest of the day." And so we talked about this concept of like, okay, yes, it's a morning routine.
He was defeated because he didn't start his day with a good morning routine. So he thought, oh, the day's lost.
So he knew about morning routines, but he didn't do the morning routine he wanted. And so now it's 10:30 and the day's shot because he didn't do a good morning routine. So the point we want to make is yes, morning routines are important, but guess what? If you don't do a great morning routine, fine. You can do a morning routine any time of the day to get back into the game. I don't care what time it is. You can do a little morning routine and it can get your mind back in the right place. Now, so those types of routines are critical, and that's going to include usually reading great stuff, moving your body, ideally, doing things that help with sleep inertia, right? Getting outside, listening to music even. You decide what your morning routine is, but the point is it's helping you to wake up and get focused on your most important priorities. That generates energy. When you can start every day thinking about the most important things you want to do, the goal, looking at your vision board even, like these are the things I want to accomplish in my life, and then moving your body, you're going to have energy and you're going to feel better. And if you can do that before your kids can get up, especially, you just feel that much better. Because you're not, I remember those times when I would wake up because my kids were waking me up. And
Making
they
demands.
wanted, making immediate demands on me. That's the worst way to start the day, at least for me, to be woken up by someone making demands on you. So get up before they get up, even if it's a little bit earlier, and get yourself in the right state. Okay? Now,
That's critical. Get your mind, your spirit, and your body in the right state every single morning. Every single morning you reset and you establish your thoughts for the day, your thinking patterns, your feelings, your body. Do this every single morning. It seems like it's not a big of a deal. Seems like it won't help. I guarantee it. Like you do. I've been doing mine for over 22 years, 23 years. If you do it and you do it consistently, it'll change your life. And my coaching clients that do it, it just transforms them. They're like, wow, the power of having a consistent routine is unbelievable.
Consistent.
And it starts to compound in your favor.
Yes.
You want energy? Have a solid morning routine.
Now, one of the other things, since we're getting into some specifics here, that you should do right in the morning is drink water. And you're like,
With a little bit of lemon.
yeah, ideally with some lemon, something like that. You need to drink water in the morning because you're flushing your body of toxins. And that is going to help generate more energy throughout your day. Now, there's some other ideas, though, what else to drink in the morning.
But just the idea is get healthy, you guys. More vegetables in the right portion sizes.
I guess I'm
and
sticking
exercise. Just eat good things and move your body. And like, just set a goal right now. Just set your intention, like getting the best health of your life. Just do it. You can do it.
Hold on, I want to emphasize this more.
All right.
Food. I want to emphasize food.
I gotta sit down because I went on a long run today and I woke up at 3.
Excuses.
I know.
Generate some energy.
I'm
Gosh.
gonna bounce. I'm not gonna sit down. I'm gonna bounce.
You can sit if you want. Okay. Emphasizing the water in the morning. You're detoxing your body. Okay, you need to allow that process to happen because some part of the reason we don't have as much energy as we could have is because our bodies are toxic.
Because you eat too much sugar and drink too much soda.
And that's part of it, but also because in general we live in slightly toxic environments. Like we live in a world that's just, it's not, 100% free of toxins. We are coming in contact with toxins on a regular basis, whether that's pollution or, who knows, all the stuff, plastics and all kinds of stuff that's in the environment, right? So we have to be more intentional about detoxing our bodies. So that's why we drink the water and maybe with some lemon. Allow your body to detox while you're sleeping and in the morning from drinking the water. Now, food. Food is fuel, right? If you have a vehicle, we have 2 vehicles. One of them.
Your body is a luxury vehicle, not a dadgum rental. Okay, it's not a rental car. It's a Rolls Royce. Okay, take care of that thing. Man.
We personally have 2 vehicles. One of them is a diesel and the other is gasoline. You cannot interchange those fuels without problems. But many of us treat our bodies like that. We just put whatever in it.
For convenience or
just
taste.
because it tastes good or it's convenient or it's there. Like, we don't do that. If you want to know one of the biggest secrets, I guess, to our energy, we are super particular about what we eat every single day. We don't just put anything in our bodies. Now that doesn't mean we don't eat anything that's good or delicious or nutritious or that we want to eat. We do that every single day too.
All delicious and nutritious.
But because we've been intentional about, I keep saying like this, intentionable, because we've been intentional about the type of food we will put in our bodies, we have found recipes and, you know, all these types of things so that what we're eating is enjoyable. We love what we eat, but it's all good, healthy food, right? And some of you might be like, well, yeah, but isn't that more expensive? Doesn't that cost more? Maybe. But is it worth it if it gives you 5 times as much energy? You're like literally outsourcing to somebody else because you now have more energy to live your life and to make more money and to deal with your kids. So yes, it's worth it. And if you eat higher quality food, then sometimes you, at least for me, don't have to eat as much because you're getting more nutrition from every bite.
Absolutely. You can eat much less because you're getting nutrients instead of just empty calories.
Exactly.
So eat more vegetables, more colored vegetables, less breads. So, and sugars. I'm gonna hit a sugar here.
We have completely cut sugar out of our life.
100%.
No cane sugar, no white sugar, of course.
And we went away from refined sugars down to the sweeteners, and then we kept doing more and more research, and the research out now is just crystal clear. I mean, it is evidence-backed. Sugar is actually an inflammatory. It causes inflammation in our bodies. You want to tank your energy? Get some inflammation in your body. That just takes all your organs, all your cells, and they just don't operate right. And it just drains your energy. And so you have people just consuming insane amounts of sugar, like even in sugar-free drinks, they replace it with like Splenda or some other chemical that acts like that and it spikes your blood sugar. And then people add caffeine on top of that with these so-called energy drinks, which is just bogus. But we're literally making our bodies toxic and we're draining our own energy.
And I think the story Greg shared at the beginning was a perfect comparison. He led this trip to Guatemala, and these people that he was with were consuming sugar and caffeine, and so they were having peaks and
spikes
and crashes and peaks and crashes and peaks and crashes. And in the meantime, Greg is just this constant, steady, same level of energy, which was probably about here. But it was constant because you're not dealing with this. This is a lot of your problem with not having energy is you're having these peaks and these crashes from what you're eating.
And most people are chronically dehydrated. Like it's just we're just rolling along.
So
wait, hold up. A monthly menu
it would be
planning?
fun to watch what we eat in a day on your Instagram. I will put my 17-year-old in charge of that.
She would love
She
that.
actually does most of our cooking, not gonna lie. And she would
good.
love doing that. So I'll tell her and she'll be like, yeah.
And I've started compiling recipes too, because we love eating fantastic food from around the world that is healthy and delicious. So I'm compiling some recipes out of a folder I'll be happy to share.
Now, here's something else I'm going to add. This a little tidbit of information here. If you want to have more energy, decrease your sugar and increase your fats. And you might be like, what?
What did you just say?
Fat? If you could see how much butter we go through here. Okay, now this is the pure grass-fed Kerrygold butter from Walmart or Costco. Grass-fed.
It's from Ireland, not from Walmart.
It's from Ireland. Well, okay. You can buy it. You don't have to go to Ireland to buy it. Okay. We put butter in our tea. We put butter in our fat balls. We put butter on everything and in everything and through everything. And we eat it plain sometimes. Like we eat so much butter. Increase your fats. Get rid of sugars.
But there's different saturated fats and stuff. You don't.
Well, no, butter is a saturated fat. Yes,
right. Okay. Move on. Just the healthier fats, the good fats. Good fats will actually sustain your energy levels.
Fat balls.
Yeah, fat balls, Rich. Oh yeah. So I'll just do it real quick.
Google.
Yeah, you can Google them. But like we do
fat ball recipes.
A bar of butter and some like half a jar of almond butter, and then pure cacao powder with some.
There's all kinds of different types of fat balls. So you can make
some
them
nuts and some seeds,
flavored.
and you put them in, and then you freeze them. And so it's just that you just grab this ball of awesomeness, but it has a lot of like the almonds and the butter and the seeds and all this good stuff that is sustained energy. It's low glycemic sustained energy. Just such great stuff, yes. Great
because
stuff.
the fats provide a more consistent form of energy. Like it gives you energy longer.
Where simple carbohydrates like breads and potatoes and chips and crackers and sugars They just give you a tiny bit of energy and spike your blood sugar, and then you tank and you just feel like crap again and again and again. So energy levels are sustained. Okay, I gotta go because we have some coaching. I have a coaching client right now. We'll share one more warning. One more thing I want you to look at. Examine your life and look for energy leaks. Where do you have energy leaks?
Well, which,
And they can be internal and external. Don't play the victim here. Like don't go around blaming other things, but you might notice like, oh, that's consuming a ton of my energy and maybe it's not worth it, or maybe it's the way you're approaching it. Your strategy's not working, or maybe you just neglected it, and so you've allowed people to treat you a certain way, and that's draining. Or maybe it's mental, maybe it's emotional, maybe it's physical. Maybe you stay up every night. In fact, here we go. I know, because I've talked to you, that many of you are staying up way too late and getting up late, or staying up late and then getting up early, and your sleep patterns are throwing you off, and you are doing it chronically.
mm-hmm. So that's another tip here.
Get to bed.
You need to find out your ideal time frame of sleep, like how many hours you sleep, and you need to work on getting those hours to be as quality sleep as possible. Now, I get it. We have kids. We have all this stuff. Right. It's hard to go to bed. It's your only quiet time. You are sabotaging yourself if you're keeping yourself up just to have that quiet time. You need to find another way, and I'm telling you.
Get up early, Laura. It's the best quiet time in the world.
I'm telling you, because I know from experience, you have to find another way to get that quiet time without sacrificing your sleep. Because if you want energy throughout the day and you don't want to be grumpy with your kids, you need your sleep. And they need their sleep. They're so much more pleasant when they get enough sleep.
Yes.
Get
So
them
are
to
you.
get their sleep.
So are you. You're going to be pleasant up here when you start sleeping, and you'll be like, what is this feeling I have?
Exactly.
It's amazing. Like I told you, you should have been going to bed. Okay, last thing, and I got to run.
But I have something else too.
Well, I got it.
I know. Well, you're going to have to send me a
Respond to
message.
that
You're
comment.
running late.
So good.
Are you going to remember?
Yeah.
Okay. The other key thing about maintaining energy throughout the day, okay? I'm not saying that if you do these things that we've mentioned that you're just going to be like this the whole time. It's going to help a ton, but there's going to be some dips. And when you notice those dips, whether that, because being upset or frustrated or stressed, those are all energy drains. When you notice those things happening, stop and be intentional about resetting your energy levels. That can be as many times per day as necessary. As soon as you notice yourself getting irritated, frustrated, stressed, tired, all of these are signs that you need to do something to regenerate energy. That could be moving your body, like we talked about, like literally just get up and move your body and stretch. Maybe get some food. Maybe you're hungry, right? If it's emotional, you need to process those emotions. Don't wait. There's no reason you have to wait till the end of the day or till tomorrow or till you explode. Whenever I feel any sort of negative emotion, I stop then and I process it then. I don't wait. That helps you to maintain energy throughout the day. When you ignore it, and when you just think, oh, well, yeah, I mean, this is part of having kids. You just get irritated and annoyed, and that's just normal. That's not normal. It doesn't have to be like that. You stop and you process it. Okay, what do you do when you stop to process it? It just depends. You can just think about it, talk to yourself about it, right? Why am I feeling? I will literally do that. Why am I feeling stressed right now? I'll literally say that to myself. Why am I feeling frustrated right now? And then I'll think about it. Oh, because this happened and that made me feel frustrated, or because I'm worried about this and I'm afraid that this is what will be the outcome. That's why I'm feeling stressed. Okay. And then I talk myself through it. Well, you know, if that did happen, we could deal with it, or that might never happen. So why am I worrying about it? Whatever it is, like you have to deal with whatever it is at the moment. But I stop then and I think about it. If necessary, I'll write about it. If it feels way bigger, I will start journaling about it. I'll talk to my husband about it. I'll just even be open with my kids sometimes. Be like, you know what, guys? I'm really feeling frustrated right now because you guys are not listening to me. I'm asking you to clean up the house and you're not doing it. And I'm feeling frustrated because I need it done by this time because this is happening. So could you help out and please work quickly for the next 10 minutes to get it done?
And they're like, oh, okay, sorry, Mom.
Sure.
Boom.
Instead of, clean the house right now.
How do you guys do this?
Because the frustration turns into that if I don't process it and vocalize it, right? Or sometimes I literally will just take a breath and release tension and set intention. Release the stress. I'm going to be this way. I'm going to be excited. I'm going to be calm. I'm going to be peaceful. Okay.
Boom, last thing. Then I gotta go. So there was a comment in here that said, I wish I could get my family on board. I have to live this way to function because of a health condition, but no one else wants to join me. They think it's a good idea for me, but they don't want to. Okay, with some loving coaching, I'm gonna flip that whole thing on its head. Number one, saying I wish I could is a victim statement. That's what we say when we're in Victimville. I used to say I wish I could all the time. You totally can.
A great way to flip that is how could I?
How could I?
How can I get my family on board?
Yep, and you have way more power and influence than you think you do.
I just got to emphasize this right here. If you did that one thing in your life, if you switched all of those statements into questions, how could I get my family on board? That will change your life.
Totally
We do that
transform your
every
life.
single day.
Yep. We say, I can't. I wish I could. There's no way. They won't do
Well,
it.
I'm saying
They
we
want
do
this.
that. We switch everything. How could I do this? How can I make this much money? How can I, whatever it is.
So switch it.
Ask the questions instead of making statements that are not true. You're telling yourself things that are, I'm getting mean right now. You're telling yourself things that aren't true and you're believing them because you tell them to yourself. But they're not true. Ask the question and you'll find the answer.
How can I get them on board? I guarantee it. If you do a little homework and a little preparation and you make some unbelievable meals that are phenomenal and they're healthy, your kids are not going to balk at that. They're going to be like, this tastes incredible, Mom, but you better eat it because we want to eat the less incredible stuff.
And
Whoa.
You know what? I'm going to say right here, like, ultimately, we don't have a problem getting our kids to eat the way we want to eat because we buy the groceries.
Wait a minute. And we're the parents.
And we're the parents. Now, we allow our children to choose, right? And when they go out of our house, they get to choose. When they're in our house, they eat what we
They still get a
decide,
choice. They can eat or not eat.
right?
We're not
And-
mean about it. We're like, hey, we
And
gotta eat
we
healthy.
teach them, though.
Yeah,
When
constantly
they're
teach.
like, hey, can you buy even like pretzels? Man, I don't know those pretzels. No, I'm not going to buy pretzels because they're not good for you.
And here's why. We explain
Here's
it.
why.
I'm like, oh, okay.
Now, that doesn't mean they still don't want to eat pretzels, but and our kids know this. In our house, there are certain things that just are not allowed. Now, if we go out and someone else offers it, they have the choice of eating that, and we respect that choice. But in our house, they're not going to bring certain things in. Now, yeah, it's more difficult if the spouse is not on
Okay.
board.
Yeah,
and
that's
really
good stuff. I was
shopping.
going to ask about that.
In that case, what has always convinced us or our kids when it comes to eating is just showing them the science.
Read great books.
When you read a book that says this is what sugar does to you, this is how sugar causes cancer, this is what sugar does to your brain, you're going to be like, oh.
So if I'm not mistaken, your husband is a physician, and there's a book called The Brain Warrior's Way written by a physician, or Superhuman, and they're like manly books, right? Have him listen to that or read those. It'll totally change his game. Totally change his game. He'll be like, whoa, dang, I'm going to become superhuman. How'd you ever let me eat that crap, wife? That's what's going to happen, right? And then one last statement. You said, I have to live this way because of a health condition. I want you to switch that and then say, I get to live this way. I get to eat better. I get to live with more energy. I get to eat healthier. It's a privilege because you have a luxury vehicle and not some cheap rental car. Hey, let's level up, you guys. We can have so much energy and we can live fully engaged lives right here. I think levels of enjoyment that we have not yet experienced, all of us. And life is so much more fun, more enjoyable, It is literally easier and less stressful and more enjoyable when we have higher levels of energy. So whenever you feel yourself demotivated or dragging or in survival mode or frustrated, check your energy levels and intentionally and strategically do something right away to re-engage and level up your energy. And if you'll set up consistent methods, then you can have sustained high energy for literally the rest of your life. Oh yeah, love you guys so much. I gotta go, we're way over. Like, you guys are the best. Love you, thanks for your comments, thanks for being here, you're awesome. Let's live energized lives. Reach upward.